Recording resumed. I forget that every day with my team, so thank you. I need the reminder every single time. My intention is that you take something from this and start putting it in your business right now. Now, we know the statistics. 95% of people that attend the class do zero with what they learned. I want you to be different. Gary Keller always said, look at what the average agent is doing, and if you want better results, do the opposite, or at least do what they're doing at a much higher level and much more consistently. That's what I want you to gain from this. Now, with that said, if you're here to learn how to gain 1 million followers, if you're here to learn how to create the best, most amazing videos, I've got some bad news for you. That is not what this is about. My intention around video is not to become the next viral internet star. My intention around video is not to become this big, massive influencer through social media platforms where I don't know a lot of the people that are actually following me or I'm interacting with. I don't desire that. If you do, there are a lot of people out there you should go follow. A lot of people that give great training around it that could potentially take you there if you have the willingness and the desire to do so. Today is, again, more about practical little things that I think we can all do in our businesses right now. So I can't interact with you as much as I'd like to, so I'm going to ask you to nod your head or at least thumbs up yourself. This is not for me, it's for you. That if we're still in, we're going to play all in. Everybody good? I see some heads. All right. Now, my goal is for you to take something from today. I'm going to say it probably 5 more times today. Take one thing. I'm going to throw a lot of examples at you about halfway through of things that I've been doing and testing for the last handful of months as well as years that are starting to show some dividends. They're paying some dividends. And I want to give you a statistic that has been pretty dumbfounding over the last 14 weeks, especially since the primary lockdown or shutdown from COVID. When I first started thinking more about video, I've been doing it for about 3 years now. When I first started thinking about it after the shutdown, I started asking myself the question, am I getting the interaction? Am I getting the connection that I want with others? And the answer was a definitive no. While I like to be an extroverted introvert, I like to be home, I like to be by myself, I like to go do things on my own, I also crave the interaction. And so I flipped that question. If I'm not receiving the interaction that maybe I crave internally, subconsciously, are other people in my database not getting it too? Now, if you've been looking at some of the studies, if you've been looking at some of the statistics out there, dramatic rises in people feeling isolated. Of course, duh. Dramatic rises in needing for support, whether it's alcoholism or mental health. People are feeling the crunch of this. Some of you on this call are. I know I have too. Some days are great. Some days I'm like, oh, I just need something. I need something to do and someone to see. My point is, I flipped that question and said, if that's how I'm feeling, I bet a lot of people are feeling that way too. And hence, I started using video more. I started getting direct in front of my database individually and collectively more through video. Sometimes just to bring a smile to their face. Sometimes to bring them info or entertainment or what we like to call infotainment. Sometimes to go direct and ask for something. Depends on the person, depends on the situation. The whole idea though is if they can see my face and hear my voice, and it's coming from a place of compassion, a place of wanting them to have that connection, you earn a couple of things from that. And I'm not even talking about business at this point. What you earn from that is more rapport. What you earn from that is a stronger, deeper connection with some, not all. And from there, the byproduct can be additional business. Now, I have another class that kind of parallels with this one on this topic. I think everybody on this call right now would at some point like to see their business organically feed itself. Now, I'm a prospector. Some of you on this call know that I'm a heavy prospector. I like to pound the phones. I like to pound direct messages because I like to create movement. At the same time, my intention when I got into real estate was not to be a salesperson for life. My intention was to build enough solid, strong relationships that circled back on themselves through direct, repeat, and referral business over time. And I believe one of the best ways you can do that is to build a presence and to build a connection using video, because it's the second best thing behind being face-to-face with people. All right, so with all that said, with all that primed, here we go. What I want you to do is follow some of these steps. Pick and choose the ones that make the most sense for you. There's about 15, 18 slides in here. You don't need everything from every slide. If you like to take notes, great. Take the most important note from the slide or the conversation. Then pick, after today's course, pick the one thing that you're committed to doing moving forward. You can always come back and review again and add on a second and a third. Rather than go wide, let's go deep on one thing first, and you can always spread from there. All right. First and foremost, you'll hopefully appreciate some of my images behind the wording there. I need you to let it go. Here's what I mean. Most of us, when we're asked, why don't we do more video? There's two reasons that come up constantly. I don't like how I look, and I don't like how I sound on video. Two of my coaches said the same thing to me I'm about to say to you. Get over it. That's what you look like, and that's what you sound like in real life. Just because you're hearing it differently because it's being repeated back to you via video that you recorded doesn't mean that it changes how it sounds or looks for anybody that's ever seen you or heard you in person in the first place. Most of us want to resist something because it possibly makes us look less amazing than we think we are or want to look. I need you to get over that. Video is the wave of the future. In fact, there are studies right now sharing or saying that 80% of all media, all content consumption will be video by 2025. 80%. You got to get into it. You got to get in front of it. So let go of the pride, let go of the ego, at least enough to get out there, get on video, because it's a great way to reach your database. So just put it out of your mind and be willing to take a step forward. Now, it's easier said than done. I get that. In fact, in 2017, the end of 2017, a friend of mine who is a owner and host of the Next Level Agents group, Kevin from Arizona, asked a simple question: who's intending to use more video in their business in 2018? And I raised my hand and I said, I'm committed, because I've been scared of it for 2 years. I didn't like it either. I've been interviewed on TV a couple times. I've done some things for video, and I'll put on a show here and there. At the same time, I was really fearful of actually using video in my business more because I didn't like how I looked or how I sounded, or I didn't know what I was going to say. So I committed on the spot. I said, I'm going to do one a week for the next 12 months. And that's what turned into Monday Motivation. A few of you have commented on those, have come back to me and said, I really like this, and I appreciate that you did this. I stopped doing it, and I'll get into the reason why in a little bit. I committed to doing it because I knew I sucked at it. I committed to doing it because I knew it needed to be something that was part of my business, something to gain and grow my visibility. It wasn't about ego. It was about reaching the people I wanted to reach and bringing a message with it that I thought could help somebody. That's why it was called Monday Motivation, or Motivation Monday, actually. I did it every Monday. I missed 3 in a 17-month period of time. If you go back on my profile and you go to January, February, March of 2018, you'll see some of the worst videos I think have ever been produced and put out on social media. They're awful. The content's okay. The conversation's okay. The lighting's terrible. I look like I just crawled out of a grave. There's even one where I'm sitting in a hotel room, terrible lighting, first of all. And right behind my head, there's a smoke detector on the ceiling. It looks like I'm wearing a tiny little hat that looks like a smoke detector. And I'm stumbling over my words. I'm all over the place. I'm a heck of a lot better today. I'm not perfect. I'm not even fantastic. I'm a heck of a lot better today than I was then, because I let go of the I have to look amazing, this has to be perfect. I'd rather have it done than be perfect. So get it out of your head. It's okay to not be perfect at something. We never are. We never will be. It will be a lot better if we actually jump into it. I want you to build a plan, not a overly difficult plan. How do you intend to put video into your business? I mean, I could jump right into, hey, here's the editing software I use. Here's the lighting kit I use. Those are things I'd be happy to share with you. At the same time, until you have a plan of why you want to put video into your business, a reason for it, none of that stuff matters. You're just gonna have a really decorated office with a lot of lighting and backdrops that never get used. So what's the point? So build a very simple plan. 3 steps to building a simple plan, and then a tool that you can use that almost all of us on this call probably know about already. Number 1, I want you to actually have a goal around it. What is my goal for putting more video into my business? Is it to create stronger relationships with the people I already know? Is it to expand my database from 500 to 1,000 people that are actively seeking my content? Is it to generate 20 transactions out of it in 2020 and 2021? What is the goal around putting video in your business? If it's just to do it, I promise you'll probably not do it for very long, because it's not attached to something that matters to you. So there's the goal. What do I intend to achieve from this? The purpose behind it is similar and different. The purpose, because I really desire to have my message out there. I really desire to connect with people at a different level. I really desire to make sure that people know who I am as a real person and as a business, rather than me just picking up the phone and calling them, rather than just meeting them at open houses. What's the purpose behind that goal? I think you can go 2 different directions with that. What I just said, and the second is what does it do for your life? I've got this goal. I'm going to do this with it. My purpose behind it is because I believe it's the next evolution or the next step towards what I really want most. And third of building the plan is the actual steps. Now, here's the tool that most of you on this call have heard, used and stopped using. I get it. I've been there. And it's the 1-3-5. Now, we're not here to talk about building out a 1-3-5, although to give you the very simple for those that are uninitiated or don't know about it, 1-3-5. What's my one goal? What are my 3 main priorities around that goal in order to make it happen? And what are the 5 strategies I'm going to use beneath each one of those priorities? So let's say your goal is to generate an additional 12 transactions traced back to a video presence or a video connection with individuals in your database or in your future database. Great. What's one priority to get there? That one priority might be putting out content every single week. Fantastic. What are the 5 strategies I'm going to use to put out content? Well, I'm going to discover what I'm truly passionate about. I'm going to make sure I've got it scheduled. I'm going to make sure I've got the things I need to make sure it's getting out there once a week and getting out there once a week with some quality and definitely consistency. That's what I'm talking about with building a plan. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it extremely simple and always bring it back to, does this strategy, does this activity lend towards the priority, and does that lend towards my goals? If you find yourself doing something and you can't trace it back to, or you can't attach it to something that actually matters, I want you to just take a step back and objectively look at it and say, am I doing this just to be busy? Or am I doing this because it links to a plan that links to a goal, which is attached to a purpose? Most of us at some point in our careers are going to be busy for being busy's sake, or busy for busy's sake. Because it's nice to feel like you're doing something all day. At least for me. It's even nicer to know that you've done something that mattered. So be cognizant of having a plan that actually works for you, that helps others, and allows you to achieve your goal. Now, again, the 1-3-5 is not what we're talking about here. If you have questions on it, and yes, Kevin and Fred are absolutely excellent guys. Thank you, Charles, for saying that. I 100% agree. And if you do have any questions about any of the tools I'm talking about here, drop it in the chat. I'll do my absolute best to keep an eye on it. Email me. I'll put my email up at the end of the slides. You're more than welcome to chime in at any time too. Don't hesitate to stop me. Time block for it. We're going to move through a couple of these relatively quickly because a lot of us have heard these pretty often. I time block for my videos every single day. Every single day. And I'll tell you a little bit more in a few minutes about what I do specifically. Although every day on my calendar, there are 2 slots for time blocks for videos. There's the ones that I'm going to do that are more of the personal, direct, one-on-one, and there are the ones that I'm putting out for ads or for click funnels or whatever they may be to generate bigger database. You've got the database you have now, and I want to connect with them broadly and individually. There's time block for that for me. That's typically birthday videos, anniversary videos. How are you? I'm thinking about you. I care about you. I'm grateful for your videos. I'll share that in a minute. And then you've got over here, maybe I want to put out a little bit more polished stuff. Maybe I want to actually put something out that could be conceived or perceived as a marketing piece rather than just a pulling back the curtain on the personal side. I'll delineate between those two in just a moment. Just time block for it. 15 minutes. You can do a lot of video in 15 minutes. Some of you might be asking, well, how the heck do you put out a good video in less than 15 minutes? On a daily basis, I put out 12 to 15 videos in less than 10 minutes. Now, those are usually very short and directly to people. I'll talk about that in a little bit. If you want to do a more polished one, you might need to hire someone. I can still do it in 10 minutes because I just do the video and I send it to somebody else. They edit it, so I'm only spending 10 minutes and some money. So are you willing to spend the money too? You don't have to up front. Just get it on your calendar, because if you show me your calendar, I'll show you your priorities. If video is one of your priorities for your business, for your database, it needs to show up on the calendar, just like lead generation, lead follow-up, role play and script practice, and any appointment you have for yourself or for your clients. No different. Put it on there. Doesn't have to be a long time though. All right. We're going to camp on this one for a couple of moments. I have a question for you. You can drop it in the chat or you can just ponder it for yourself. Are you resisting putting out video potentially because you don't want it to look crappy? I get it. I spent months waiting to put out video because I wanted to make sure it was amazing. And it wasn't. It never was. It never probably will be. And so much so that I bought great editing software. I spent hours every Sunday, because I would record the video on Sunday for Monday Motivation until I started going live on Facebook with it. Spent hours typing up the subtitles or the captions. I spent hours editing it to put in intros in the beginning and exits or outros in the back. It was a burden, an absolute burden. And what I found was that the engagement went through the roof, comparatively speaking, relatively speaking, once I just got real. In fact, the first time I went live for a Monday Motivation was in my car in the parking lot of my office. It was the most watched Monday Motivation video I ever did. It was live, was part of it. And second, it was real. I was just, what am I going to talk about? Here's what I'm thinking. Let's go. Point is, you don't need to overproduce the day-to-day stuff. If you're going to do marketing and advertising with video, great, polish it up. And I'll show you a couple examples in just a minute. And Charles, I see that you're sending out birthday and anniversary videos. I love it, man. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. If you're doing it consistently, you can add on to it and start doing more, different, or bigger. Up to you. Point is, don't overproduce the day-to-day stuff. This is where you get to let people see inside your actual world. And I'll show you some examples. A couple right off the top of my head, though, are, and a few of you on this call obviously know about this, are my naked little 5-year-old boys. They are rarely wearing clothes. And one of the videos I took a screenshot for this presentation is me playing dodgeball with them on the staircase of our house just a couple of weeks ago. They're in their underwear and I'm throwing a bouncy ball and I'm hitting them in the face and I'm hitting them in the private area on accident. I'm hitting them in the legs, I'm hitting them in the arms. It was just a raw video I'm holding with my left hand as I'm throwing the ball at them. Most watched video on my Facebook personal page this year. Now, is that important to have a lot of likes and a lot of views? I think it is, not for the ego purpose, because it showed them what my life is really like. It showed them a little bit about my fathering style, the games I like to play with my kids, how crazy and nuts they are. And remember, people want to connect. People want to actually get to know the other person. If you're looking to drive more business through your video, I think you can do the marketing, and I think that's a great way to do it. And for the database that you already have existing that know you as a person, just let them see more of you. Not a bad thing. Once in a while, I might take it too far, and I get told that. That's okay. I'll reel it back in if I need to. Just don't overproduce it on a daily basis. 2 things. It takes too much time and effort from you. Second, it doesn't connect with the audience as well. Okay? It's okay to have fun. This is an actual dude that was doing a video with a green screen with a cow jumping next to a dolphin on the water. If you're goofy, be goofy. Don't try to be somebody else. If you're serious, fine, be serious. Just bring great content and great information. It's okay to have fun with this though. Hence my videos of my boys on the staircase. Hence my videos of doing stupid, crazy, wild things for myself. Whatever that is. I like to record the stupid stuff that happens in my life because those are the fun times. Those are the funny things. They're good for my memory, and they're also good to put out there so people can see who I am. Just remember, if you're not having fun with it, it's very likely the people watching it aren't having fun either. And going back to Monday Motivation, about 18 months in, I had done it almost every Monday for 18 months. And I found the last 6 weeks, it was a real grind. I was starting to think on Sunday, what am I going to talk about on Monday? Because I started doing live videos. Monday morning, I started getting anxious and nervous about what I was going to put out there. I was resisting it and I was fighting it. And anytime you start resisting or fighting something that should be fun, and especially if it's supposed to be inspirational and motivational for you and potentially for others, there's a problem. So I quit because I was no longer having fun. Now I replaced it with other things because I still believe it's part of my business. I just didn't want to do it that way anymore. So have fun with whatever you're doing, however you need to. It'll make it more enjoyable for you, and I promise that will translate on the other side of the camera. When I try to go too scripted on, even when I'm presenting on classes, I've got these little note cards here. There's 4 or 5 words per note card just to keep me on track because I have a squirrel brain like some of you on this call too. If I try to go too scripted, there was a class I taught just a couple weeks ago where I put the literal script behind the camera. And after about 6 seconds, I said, this class sucks. Let's just talk. Let's actually have a conversation about what's really working and what's not working in our businesses around a specific topic. That's why I don't sound as polished as I probably could. I've just done this a lot, so I'm comfortable speaking in front of a camera, and I'm comfortable talking about this. Have fun with it. I'm having fun right now. I hope you are too. That was my point. Now, you have to know your audience. Are you going broad? Are you going for everybody? Remember, there's riches in niches. I like to just go a little bit smaller, a little bit more targeted. I have an appointment tomorrow at 11 o'clock to build a target list of 3,000 people that all have a few characteristics professionally, not personally, professional characteristics, because I'm going after them. So videos will start rolling out in front of them and only them. I think it's important. And if you want to read a great book on this, you should read Copywriting Secrets. Copywriting Secrets, written by the guy that I believe was the partner of Russell Brunson, one of the most famous ClickFunnels guys. It's an amazing book, and it talks about that, going a little bit more narrow so you can really identify what the needs, the perceived needs, and the wants of the clientele are, and give that to them. Now we have, in my opinion, we have three real audiences. We have the public at large, which you really are just throwing spaghetti at a wall at that point. You have the targeted non or haven't mets, which we talk about in Keller Williams, people I don't know, and yet they fit some sort of mold. They might be ready, willing, able to buy or sell. They might, whatever, they might be a referral source. That's the targeted haven't mets. And then you've got your personal database. Your personal database are, of course, the people that already know you, should like you at least a little bit, and potentially trust you too. You're going to probably do something different for each one of those. So back to that 135, who are you targeting? Who do you really want to build your video base for? Because you can't be everything to everybody. You try to be the super professional and straight laced for this group over here, and you do this for this group and this group, this for this group. You're going to spend all day behind a camera. And if that's the way you want to build your business, great, more power to you. I just couldn't. I couldn't personally. That's too much camera time. Who's your audience? Who are you targeting? What's their need or perceived need? What do they want? And then give it to them. As an example, your personal database, they just want you. If they're truly your friends, acquaintances, coworkers, family, schoolmates, churchmates, if they're truly those people and they're somewhat close to you in some regard, all they want is you. They just want to know who you are truly. And I know we put our best face on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat. Still though, they want to peek behind the curtain of what your life really looks like. Let them connect with you. Just think about put yourself in their shoes. What do you want to see of somebody else on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn's a little more professional. You probably don't want the real boring, real monotonous, okay, that's information I can get in 3 seconds by Googling. I want to know who you are. I want to see what life and business potentially really looks like for you. So who's your audience? Go to them and give them what they want. Knowing where your audience is as important because, and thank you, Kevin, for dropping that in there. The link to Copywriting Secrets is in the chat room if you'd like to go and download that and go to Amazon and buy it. Great, great book. I'm reading it for the second time in 3 weeks because it's that good. It's a step-by-step on how you can build better content and actually get people to come to you, which I think we all would like. Where's your audience? Now, a couple statistics for you. Statistics are hard. At the same time, they're important. What we know is that we've seen 117%, some are saying 122%, some are saying 106%, different outlets. The point is a massive increase in media consumption by people in general in the United States and across the world over the last 14 weeks. Can you imagine why? Well, they're not going to work. And if they are, they're working from home, which means they're not going to work as much. Me too. Me too, somewhat, sometimes. So they're on their phones more. They're on their tablets more. They're on their computers more, consuming content. If you aren't on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any one of those things more than you were 14 weeks ago, teach me. Teach me how you became so disciplined, because I know I am, and I'm pretty disciplined around these things. Point is, you need to know where your audience is. My biggest audience right now is on Facebook. I spent a couple of years building that thing up and really top grading it. And when I say top grading it, I literally mean firing people from my Facebook page so I could bring new people in because I was at the capacity. I had 5,000 people in there. And so every day I would go through and say, who can I remove that I'm not engaged with? I really don't know, because I've got this new friend over here that I met through whatever, and I want to put him in there. So that was me curating a good solid database in Facebook for multiple years. And that's where my biggest audience is. I have more followers in LinkedIn. In fact, twice as many. A lot less engagement though, because it's professional, it's LinkedIn. I'm not going to be putting underweared kids playing dodgeball on the stairs in LinkedIn. So biggest following, biggest interaction, biggest engagement for me is on Facebook. I know that, which is why I've chosen to stay there. I have ventured into Instagram a little bit. I have ventured into other platforms, Twitter a little bit, And I keep coming back to, where's my biggest audience right now? I need to nail that first. And I'm not even there. I need to be good there first before I can become great there, before I should even think about going and trying to master another one. Do you see my point? I'm channeling the one thing for you. Don't try to be the master of 12 or 7 different media platforms. Be great at one. Build a following. Have fun with it. Add on to the next one. Because once you build out one really well, you can scale that because the models are the same. It's just putting it in different places and tapping different buttons. So where's your audience? Now, another statistic for you. Prior to COVID, and actually this is about a year ago, this statistic came out, 80% of people's free time, meaning after work, before sleep, after sleep, before work, was spent on social media or some form of media consumption platform. 80% of free time. And I see the question, why not create multiple groups instead? I'm not 100% sure what you mean there. I think you might be talking about, why not have specific groups of people that only receive certain types of posts? I do. So targeted lists. I'm not sure what you mean. If you want to clarify there.
5,000. I wonder why not just create several groups instead of.
That's a great question. I don't want to manage multiple Facebook pages. That's one reason. And the real reason behind it is because when I look at the 5,000 people, let me pull back the curtain on this a little bit for you. When I really built out my Facebook friends list, if you want to call it that, it was, I actually do have 3 Facebook pages, because the first one lasted for 2 days and I abandoned it because I thought Facebook was stupid. Second time, about a month later, I created another one. It lasted 3 weeks, same reason. I kicked it down to the curb because I didn't like it. I thought social media was stupid. That was, by the way, in 2010 or 11. Third one, I finally made the connection that, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it for the purposes of gaining visibility, potentially influence, and building a database that I can earn business through by being a trusted source and hopefully funny and enlightening sometimes. And so what I did was I just went and found anybody and everybody that had mutual friends. So people I actually knew, I'd friend them first, like we all do with social media. Friends, family, coworkers. Then I went to each one of their individual pages to see who they knew that I should know. And I just started friend requesting all sorts of people. Then I created a model around it, or a system, if you will. If they had 20 friends, or if this person and I had 20 mutual friends and we weren't connected, they automatically got a invite from me. Then it was 50, then it was 100 as it grew. Now, if you can kind of play that scenario out in your mind, what happened was I became friends with a lot of people I don't know. And so once I reached that capacity, I figured rather than going and having a second or third page, why don't I just make this one as good as possible first? That's the long answer to your question. So how I choose to do that is, and this might sound offensive to some, every day Facebook tells me whose birthday it is. I go into their accounts and I look, are they active? Do we know each other? Is there any purpose for us being connected on Facebook? And if the answer is no, I unfriend them and I add somebody new in. That's how I top grade my database. And I have been caught a couple times. How, you unfriended me? No, what are you talking about? Happy birthday, by the way. So, hey, things happen. I just like to top grade databases because I want to be in front of the right people. And sometimes you screw up and delete someone you shouldn't. So I won't say who. Anyways, know where your audience is. If they're spending 80%, which right now we think that's more like 90, 92%, 95%. I'm hearing that from different media sources. Of their free time is being spent on some sort of video or media consumption platform outside of their working hours, and even during their working hours. So where are they? If that's where they are, go there. If your main database is more on Instagram, go there. Get good with it and go there. If you're more of a professional B2B or business to business, go to LinkedIn. I've built up 12 or 13,000 followers there with the intention of then becoming good at it, build up the database so that I can put content in front of them. And that's starting to happen. Nothing substantial yet, so I can't speak to it like I know, although I'm working on it. Because Facebook was first for me, LinkedIn second, and Instagram will be third down the road. And pulling back the curtain on this, question in the chat, how do I make my background black? I just hung a black backdrop on my wall and I put text in it on both sides. Super simple. I've got 2 umbrella lights right here for lighting purposes. So yeah, I'm okay with sharing all this stuff with you. If you want the make and model, let me know. I'll send those to you in an email. I'll give you my email at the end. So where's your audience? Go there. Stop trying to be the person over here. Now, I get it. TikTok is massive. And if you didn't see the article, I think it was Wall Street Journal today, just said TikTok's here to stay. It might not have been Wall Street Journal. So sure, maybe you dabble in that too. Maybe that's a fun project for you. Where though are the people you know already living? I don't need to reach 5,000 people in different countries or 5 million people in different countries right now. That's not going to help my business today or tomorrow or next month. I need to reach the people that are in my local area or in the areas that my team services so I can be in front of them. So when they think of real estate in San Diego or Sacramento or the Bay Area, they think maybe Michael can help. And if I can't, my team can. That's what I want. I don't need 2 million followers just to feel good. I want business, and I want real business, and I want local business right now. That's just me though. Now, reel them in. How I think you can reel people in is, again, mostly what we've already been talking about here. It's about being true. It's about being authentic. It's about showing them who you are, putting things in front of them that they actually want to see. So I'll give you a quick model that won't show up in the content or the slides here. I think anybody that follows me enough would kind of see this pattern. I am rarely putting 2 or 3 business-related posts back to back on my personal page. Rarely, because I follow the model of 2 to 1. 2 to 1 meaning I put 2 personal for every business, Friday through Monday, Friday through Sunday night, Monday morning. And then during the week, I might flip that to 2 business for every personal. It's not on a super defined schedule. That's just the rule of thumb I like to follow. And here's the main purpose why. I know that people are on social media more on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm going to put stuff in front of them that gives them that connection. What crazy thing are the Putnam boys doing this weekend? Are the boys wearing pants? Is Mike on a hike on the top of a mountain this weekend? Which hopefully, yes. And when people see that and they scroll through their tablet or their phone or even on their computer, which is rare, and they see your name pop up, if you truly are connecting and showing them fun stuff and making them smile or laugh or just say, oh, that's cool or cute, they slow down. Even subconsciously, they slow down just a touch. You ever find yourself doing that? You're scrolling through really quickly, and then a certain name comes up from the bottom of the screen, and you, whoa, what are they about to say? Oh, damn them, they put business in front of me. And you just keep scrolling again. All I need is that split second. So if I put stuff in front of you that gets you to want to come back and say, or be looking for my name, or at least when you see my name, slow down, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's a business piece in front of your face. Cool, I just earned some mind share. So reel them in with things. And yes, this is if you want to call it manipulation, I don't think so. I think it's just a strategy. It's a way for me to make sure that I'm not having you unfollow me or unfriend me, and that you actually get something out of our relationship on Facebook or social media. Whether that's a smile, a chuckle, a thought, or just, that's cool, fine. Then you slow down, and then all of a sudden I'm dropping some sort of marketing piece in front of you. And Charles says in the chat, on Facebook, I've made a friend list who I do business with. I can check that quickly each day. Love it. What you're talking about, as far as I can understand there, is a specific list, which you can do in Facebook. You can put specific people in specific lists and name them to where you can put posts directly in front of them. You can go to that list and just see a smaller portion of your friends rather than have 4,992 people scrolling through your feed. All right. And then just connect with them. When I look at most people's posts, this is me on the screen behind those words. I'm like, oh, another one of those posts. Another thing that nobody really cares about. And you know what? Everybody's free to express themselves however they want. I don't care. I just don't have to like it. So again, I want you to connect with them. And if you're willing to be vulnerable and transparent and visible to people through video or even just normal posts, you will get them to want to come back. That goes back to the reeling them in. Actually connect with them. Now, here's the phrase I want you to remember. They won't come to you as much as you want them to. So when I say connect, I also mean engage. That means getting directly in front of their faces, not just by posting videos. I'm talking about this is the calls, this is the texts, this is the direct messages, this is posting to their walls. Elaine's on the call with us here in Santa Cruz. I posted directly to her wall a couple of weeks ago or last week just because it was fun. I'm sitting in my office right where I'm sitting now, basically, and I just didn't even know what I was going to say. And I said, Elaine, how are you? I miss you, love you. Can't wait to come back and see you in Santa Cruz. And I just talked to her for 30 or 45 seconds with her being the camera and then posted it directly to her wall. Now, Elaine, I do love you, and I do want to just have a conversation with you. And do you think there might have been a tiny little bit of strategy around posting that to your wall? Of course. Of course. Priority was Elaine because she called me out for she wanted a video, and I said, fine, let's do this. Let's have fun with this. Strategy was because I know who she's connected with, and I know who else gets to see it. There's a point to all the stuff I'm talking about here. It's not to say I don't value the relationship I've got with her, because I do tremendously. And I'm okay having that become visible to other people too. That's just me being very, very honest.
I'm okay with it too.
Good. I was hoping you would say that. I was waiting for my
Believe
Facebook
me,
to
I
say I
love
was
you
unfriended.
as well.
Thank you.
It's quid pro quo.
I love it. That's perfect. All right. So point is, again, there's strategy behind a lot of this. Just how I built my Facebook database, just how I engage with my Facebook database. And at the very end, the second to last slide, I'm going to give you a very specific model that you can use that will help you keep this organized. I want you to keep it simple, and I want you to follow it because it'll help you keep you organized and it'll help you get in front of them consistently. Remember, engage, connect, whichever word you want to use there, you have to be willing to engage them. It's very rare that you're going to have enough people reaching out to you directly to build enough relationships to build a big enough business. That is why we have to be the disruptors. That's why we have to be the initiators or the instigators. We have to be connecting and engaging with them. And when you do, put something in front of them that gets them thinking. Maybe it's a great question. What's your perspective around this whole thing that's happening right now? What are you learning through this? What are you experiencing or learning about yourself? How's your family doing because of COVID shutdown or because of what's happening right now with our movement around Black Lives Matters? Whatever you're willing to ask or do, I think it needs to be big and deep enough. You have those kinds of conversations. Those are the conversations you gain a lot of perspective from, as well as a lot of rapport with the person on the other side. Don't use it to manipulate or to influence for a shallow purpose. At the same time, if you're willing to ask and then listen and understand and potentially even empathize, then great, you'll connect at a much deeper level. I don't like surface level conversations. I don't want to have them. I don't want to be party to them because they do nothing for me and typically nothing for the other person. If you're willing to go deep and ask bigger questions, and sometimes the bigger questions are really short. What's next in this world for you? What's on the agenda for your life the next 5 years? What's your perspective around what's happening in our culture right now? I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm not even going to argue or disagree or potentially even agree with you. I will, however, listen. And a lot of people just need to be heard. And that creates a massive, massive connection. I just want you to think about the last time someone actually asked you a big question and then let you talk without jumping in to give their opinion or disagree with you. It's rare. It's really, really rare. So can you be that person for others? I'll bet you build some strong relationships that way or strengthen the ones you've already got. Now, here's some examples. I want to give you very specifics. They're not actual videos. I didn't want to bore you to tears with videos of me or others that I know, although I want to give you some examples and I'll talk to them just real briefly. If you have any questions, stop me. This is me on top of a mountain about a month ago when I backpacked by myself for the first time. I was out where there was no cell phone reception, so I knew this video wouldn't be able to get out there in live or real time, and yet I thought to myself, this shows a little bit about who I am. And it was snowy and it was really windy and it was really freezing, and I'm laughing in this video because I'm thinking to myself, why am I such an idiot being out here by myself right now? And I figured, you know what? That's something that might just bring someone a smile. Third most watched video, and it's buried behind 3 pictures in a post. Third most watched video on Facebook, my personal Facebook page this year. Why? I don't know. It's 12 seconds long, and it's me saying, it's windy, it's snowy, ha ha ha, this sucks. That's pretty much what the video is. And it was the 3rd most watched on my personal page. Why did I put this out there? Again, it shows who I am. I like challenge. I like getting out there and doing crazy stuff. This is my way. Elaine? You wanna, oh, Another one for you. There's a still shot of my kids playing on the stairs last weekend. This is me, Jack, and Max. You can see Jack in the back there just laughing hysterically, and Max is leaning forward because I had just hit Jack in the face with the ball. I'm laying at the bottom of the stairs with my head on a pillow, and he's up there, and I'm playing with him, not thinking of video, playing with him going, this is hilarious. And I just started recording with my left hand and just started throwing the ball. Ball hits Jack in the face, bounce off. I throw it at Max. He kind of does this weirdo lay thing, and then I throw it again. It hits him right in the privates, and they're just laughing hysterically. Most watched video on my Facebook page this year. Most commented on. I think second most commented on. I go back and track that, not for ego purposes, so I can see what's actually engaging. It was just fun, and then I get to have a lot of conversations, and that's another point that I'll bring up in a second. I'll bring up now too. If you're willing to then engage back and forth. If someone comments, are you commenting back? If a few people comment, are you creating some sort of conversation within those three? Can you re-tag people? There's ways to generate more and more interest and more visibility. Point is, picture of my kids in their underwear, playing dodgeball with dad on the stairs. Most watched video. That's just about life. Now, those are very unpolished, right? Nothing spectacular about them. And then you've got the polished stuff. This is a video that I produced, or I had someone record and produce and edit in order to put it out there as advertising. This hit via boosted ads, this hit via LinkedIn, and it was actually a full-on 5-minute video of sped up, slowed down cameras going through our office, interviewing one of my top partners, Bob Alaka, who has recently moved from Northern California to Southern California to build his business there with us. And I wanted people to see it. You can see, I don't have the capability to do this kind of stuff. I paid $600 for someone to do 3 of these for me because I wanted to be able to put some polished stuff in front of the right market or right audience. And yeah, I did throw it on my Facebook page too, although I was hesitant to do so because I don't want to flood that with too much professional stuff because people don't want to see that. Now, it did get a lot of views, although I also saw my engagement on my next few posts dip. Whether I was unfollowed or they just were like, scroll through that guy, fine, either way. And I learned a little bit something about that. It was good to put out there. It's better to put it in front of the right people. Like Charles said, certain friends lists or getting into different social media outlets that actually are better for this. It got great hits on LinkedIn, comparatively speaking, versus some of my other stuff. So know the right place. The reason I threw this up here is not so you can see Bob's beautiful face. It's because I want you to look at the very bottom where it says entire working profession. If you're going to do produced videos, and even if that means you're doing just simple recorded videos to throw out on Facebook, maybe you're at an open house and you're touring the property. If you're not doing it live and you're actually recording it, and you then want to have subtitles, because another statistic, a lot of 80% statistics, 80% of videos are watched on mute. 80% of videos are watched on mute. Now, it's probably a little bit less today because people are home more. Although think about it being in the workplace. It's hard, they can't watch it on full volume unless they've got their earbuds in or their headset on. Although about a year ago, the stat was 80% of videos are watched on mute. So I learned about captions. I started typing them on myself and that would take me an hour per 90-second video. Too much time, don't have that time, don't want to spend it. So I found a great company. I'm gonna give it to you so you can use it if you'd like. It's called rev.com. In fact, I'll type it up in the chat here, rev.com, rev.com. You upload a video, they will transcribe it or give you back the subtitles or captions within 24 hours, and it's $1.25, maybe $1.75 now a minute. You do have to have editing software to burn it into the video. It's really simple. I use, Max HD for PC, I think. You can do that for free. I'm cheap, I like free stuff. You can do that for free up to 5-minute videos, or you have to go to the HD Proc or any other video editing service that you want, and I have both. I also have Wondershare for the bigger projects, although I barely use that because most of my stuff is extremely short. So rev.com will give you subtitles. You can then layer those or burn those on top of the images, which allows people to read along. Now, if you do want to follow anybody that's doing big, longer videos, John Cheplack, Jon Cheplack, would be a great guy to follow. He does some great ads, great videos, very non-professional, not meaning they're bad, just meaning that he doesn't have lighting kits. He's not set up all pretty like. he just goes at it. And he's also working with some of the top video people in the country. So if you want to follow John Cheplack, you'll probably learn a lot from him too about how to make great big videos that get a lot of views and a lot of hits. All right. Now here's another one. This is me interviewing one of my partners. She had just had a great month. Life was changing for her. Obviously I look a little bit different. She looks a little bit different now too. Simple video, not set up all that well. Lighting, fluorescent lighting in an office, in a training room. We're sitting in 2 chairs with just a phone on a little tripod, recording a simple video. Because that day, the day before actually, she had messaged me and said, this is what's happened in my life recently. This is what's happened in my business recently. And they were both pretty profound. Business was starting to explode and personal life was starting to shift into a much better direction for her. And I said, would you be offended? Would you be willing to sit down and do a quick video on that? Because we're teammates, we're partners. It might be a great thing that touches somebody else's lives. And yes, of course, the byproduct of that might be someone becomes interested in joining our world as our team. She said, yes. We sat down in one take. We did a quick, 3-minute video. That happened to be one of the more watched videos last year for me. Not professionally done. Very, very, very not professionally done. And it works. So I want to give you that spectrum. You saw me just with my kids or me on top of a mountain. You saw professionally, fully edited stuff. And you see this one where it's just set up a phone and go. You don't have to overthink it. I wanted to show you that spectrum so you don't overthink it. Pick something, and I sent that to the wrong person. I'm going to type it up in the chat again because I sent it to one person in general, rev.com. Just pick something and do it. Have fun with it. So I'm going to pause for a second because I want to give you a second to think. If there was one topic, if there was one thing that you were going to center most of your video around for the next 30 days, don't think about it forever. It'll change no matter what. Yes, Rob says the videos that aren't perfect, make them human. Exactly. I don't need to be a news anchor up there straight-laced and talking like this and monotone the whole time. No, let's just be who we are. What's the one thing, the one topic, the one subject, the one just item that you want to do some video around for the next 30 days? Maybe just the next week. Is it putting info in front of people? Is it entertaining people? Is it getting people to think and ask questions or just go internal? What do you specialize in? What are you passionate about? My favorite videos are fun stuff. There you go. So Charles, I will be making market info videos. These are some of the best ones for real estate agents right now. If you can bring really substantial data on what the market is doing to the database that lives in that area, or in general, by the way, because just because they don't live in your area doesn't mean they don't have similar things happening or thoughts happening. And you can make it fun a little bit. And I'm not saying you have to be put on a jester costume and juggle or anything like that. Just make it fun. If you're reading off of a slide and saying, right now, the market is at 1.2% absorption rate, and what that means is you're going to lose people quickly. If you can relate back with the information you're bringing to what that might solve or what that scenario might point to for them if they're considering it, that's where you become infotainment. Great info with a little bit of entertainment around it. Just be yourself, be fun, have fun with it. All right. Now, here real quickly on these ones. These are some things I specifically do. Work from left to right. If you look at the one where my head's kind of cocked to the left, it looks like, these are something I do every day. I miss some, although I do basically every day. If you and I are connected on Facebook and it's your birthday, there's a 90-something% chance you're going to get a message from me on your wall, just saying happy birthday or singing happy birthday, depending on who you are. What I want you to pay special attention to is the comment back from the person I sent this to. First ever happy B-Day. First ever happy or video happy B-Day or birthday. Why? Yes, Rob, you will get one on January 18th. I promise that, man. I promise. I'll give you $100 if I don't. I promise. Point is, I am remembered by Chris, even if it's just for a few moments, a day or week. Maybe when someone brings up real estate, he thinks of me because he knows I'm in real estate, because I was the only one that did something that's super easy. You notice I'm wearing a t-shirt. You notice I'm sitting in front of my black back screen, although I'm sitting off to the side because I don't want it to look too professional like I'm presenting. I do it sideways a lot. I do it with a backwards hat on or a hat on. I'll do anything to make it look as natural as I feel it should be, because I don't want them to feel like they're getting a produced video that I just do for everybody. That's why I say their names in it. Happy birthday, Chris. I hope you're well. I hope you're staying safe. Your family's well too, and enjoy yourself on your birthday. I only have about 4 messages because I can't come up with something different to say for everybody's birthday. Not 12 a day. Most of them sound pretty much the same. Point is, again, first ever birthday video. I've received that message probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 dozen times in the last handful of weeks, because nobody else does this, or very few people do it. And I have some partners that are starting to do this on my team, and they're having great results from it. Our team in the last 2 weeks put their hands on, well, we helped 14 people in the last 2 weeks buy or sell a home. We also put our hands on 13 referrals going outbound from us to other people, simply because, and it's not all because of this, because we're now getting in front of people in different ways. Now, the middle video or the middle picture, I want you to pay special attention to the very top. This is a text I received from somebody laughing because they scrolled through their Facebook and they found that 41 videos of me of the first 45. 41 videos of me, which is too many. Although, hey, I got a text, so obviously it made an impression. 41 of the 45, she told me this after the fact. 41 of the first 45 videos she counted were of me, because I was sending birthday videos and happy anniversary videos and how are you videos to people that she is also connected with. Do you think I'm probably earning some mind share? Probably. Maybe not always good mind share, although at least some. Now, to the right, I want to drive the point home on this is not just about putting your face in front of other people. This is about having a real connection. This is about having a real conversation. And if you read this is a Facebook direct message. If you read that thread there, you'll see it gets a little dark towards about halfway down. I'm okay, man. Definitely having bouts of depression. I'm good. I live in LA. It's sad to think that shows and live events. He's a musician, so that's how he makes his living. That's how that's his passion. And with everything shut down, he's been battling it. And I've had conversations like this that were worse, I felt the need to actually take it a step farther because people out there are feeling it, man. My point is, just by doing this video, it was a birthday video I did for this guy, and he's a friend of mine from back in the day. We don't talk a lot anymore, although we're still connected. So I follow my model and I stay in front of him. And he reached out. We took this conversation to an offline conversation just to have hey, let's hear voices. Let's have I haven't talked to him in 4 years, but by phone, let's just have a quick conversation. And I cherish that 5-minute conversation I had with him, because I don't know if I'd made any difference. I don't know if I did anything that got him thinking differently. I hope though. I hope I did. So these things do increase visibility. These things do allow you to earn mind share. These things potentially generate right now an intermediate and future business. It also has the power to get in front of the right person at the right time that has a need that may not be real estate related that you can then pour into. It's your birthday today? Someone's birthday is today. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm not gonna burn the ears of everybody else by singing happy birthday to you right now. I will do it at the end though. If you stick around, I'm gonna be singing to you later today. That's awesome. So again, this is from my heart. If you have the ability to help somebody through a tough time, if you have the ability to connect with somebody, do it. And if it comes through looking funky by doing a video on social media, or if it feels funny by sending a direct text to somebody via a video, get over it. You never know who's going to receive that. I had a partner after a coaching call with her. She committed to doing 5 right after our coaching call. She responded about 2 hours later with a screenshot of a text message that she received. She did not call. She did not do a video on Facebook. She sent them a video via text. And that was fine with me. That was totally cool. And the response from her friend was, "Thank you. I can't believe how I reacted when I saw this video," and then cry faces and that kind of stuff. It's been a really rough 2 months, and I'm so glad to hear your voice, and thank you so much for thinking of me. They had a 2-hour conversation later that night. I don't know what's happened since then. I haven't followed up on that, although I know that the next day, my partner felt amazing about it. And she felt that the other person felt great too. That's a pretty cool thing you get to do just by sending someone a video. By the way, her video was 6 seconds long. It was, "Hey, just was thinking about you, want to say hi and see how you're doing." That was it. That was it. Extremely simple. BombBomb, I do not use BombBomb. We use Constant Contact, so very similar thing. At the same time, I don't do a ton of video through email just yet. That's next on my 135. Actually, it's 2 more stages on my 135. I'm working through mine to make sure I'm doing certain things really well before I move there. And I think you should. If you want to get video via email, BombBomb, Constant Contact through command, whatever you can and will do is a great way to put more in front of them. All right. Now, last 2 slides or so with content on them, then we'll open up to questions. Let me get my video stuff out of the way here so I can see the page. There we go. This is where you can go from broad. We already talked about it, so I'll skim through some of it. Broad to more of the database to more of the one-on-one conversations. The broader you go, obviously the more people you reach, you just reach them at a much lesser level, much shallower level, and that's not a bad thing. Everybody starts somewhere, and if you're going after haven't mets, you want to get them into the funnel. And the funnel starts with putting something in front of them that they want to engage with, whether that's a value add, a piece of information, a indirect or a MOFR, make offer for immediate response. Get them coming to you by clicking something, following something, watching something. And it starts with voyeurism. It starts with them watching and wondering, are you legit? Is it something if I click on this, am I going to be spammed? They just watch. And then they finally click, and then they go through the funnel, blah, blah, blah. The broader you go, the more people you can reach, although you're going to reach them slower, and you're going to reach them at meaning slower over time, and you're going to reach them at a shallower level to start. That's okay. Broad connections, the key is to grab attention. That goes back to the book of great copywriting or copywriting secrets. Charles lost his voice, so he's sending videos with flip cards. I love it. They're watching on mute anyways. Why not? If it's a joke, it's funny. If it's serious, it's awesome. Key is to grab attention. Get something in front of them right now. What do they need? You don't know this unless you're paying attention. Don't guess what they need. Any marketing guru will tell you, don't go and build something for what you think the market has a need for. Go and build something the market actually has a need for. Now, you know your market better than I do. You know your audience. If you want to call your market your audience, you know your audience better than I do. What the top people in your database, the top people in your audience, what is their need? If they're buyers, what do they need? They need information. They need support. They need guidance. Great. Give them that. Maybe it's the top 10 mistakes you make or people make when buying their first home. If that's your target market, go there, give them what they need. What do they want? It's a different question. What do they want? Could be similar things. They want someone that's going to be trustworthy, honest, upfront. Great. How do you make sure that that gets in front of them? And give it to them. Just give it to them. If it's within your power to give something of value to somebody else that you are intending to do business with, you give it to them. Some salespeople like to say, hold it back because that's how you convert. I look at it a different way. I'll give you everything I've got. All I ask in return is that if you do have a need, you give me a shot. Whether that's an agent needing coaching or an agent needing a team, an agent just needing mentorship, a buyer needing an agent, a seller or for sale by owner not needing an agent. I had a partner yesterday come into our office sweaty because he had just driven 40 miles in 102-degree heat to hand a packet of information on how to make your house look better for photo shoot to a for sale by owner. Now I coached him, you can't do that every day. That's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of fuel. And I'm really, really proud of you for doing that because you're relatively new. You were willing to go out and help a 75-year-old man because he doesn't have email. He took pictures with his flip phone for his for sale by owner. And you went out there and showed him how to make it better so he could potentially sell it without you. Just let that sit there for a second. You gave him information on how he could potentially sell it without you. You may not have this guy as a client in the future, and you may. What you do have in the moment is trust. What you do have in the moment is the opportunity to earn referral business through him because you are willing to do something for him that nobody else probably was. So give it to him. It's okay to give and then to ask. Now, I coached him also to follow up next week and ask for the listing. You can have both. Drive them to something of value, which we already talked about. We're really focused on ebooks right now. If we can put an ebook out there, that's the top 10 mistakes buyers make when they go into escrow. The top 15 things agents should know when they are working with whatever type of client. putting that out there for them to download for free. And then that gets the, oh, you want more information? Go here, click here. Give me your information so I can reach out to you. We can talk and we do a needs analysis and see if there might be an opportunity there. Buyers, sellers, any product or service you're selling, agents, it all works. It all works if you're willing to give upfront. Now, database connections, this is where you start going a little bit more targeted because these are people that already know you. The whole first one are people that most likely don't know you. Mira, great to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. She's leaving, so I just want to make sure I threw that out there before she was gone, hopefully. The key is info, entertainment, and infotainment. I think it was Charles, or it might have been somebody else, put out there that I'm putting out market snapshots, basically, video about the market. Love it. Information. Now, if you want to go strictly the entertainment route is, well, just look at YouTube. Look at most of the trending or the most viewed videos. It's cats. It's people lighting things on fire. It's stupid, stupid stuff that we really, really like. You can go either direction or you can go both. Now, if you want to take the both, like go back to that picture of the guy with the cow jumping out of the water with the dolphin. Maybe you have a video running behind you of cats playing with balls of yarn while you're delivering market stats. I don't know, is that your personality? Because if it's your personality, it'll work. If it's not, it won't. I'm not a funny guy in that kind of regard. I couldn't pull that off. Some people I know would do it amazingly. Combine the two if you need to. Your personal page, why I use personal page, because I get this question a lot. Nobody cares about your business page except for you and your mom. Sorry, the engagement on business pages is so low unless you're boosting ads. It's usually about 5 to 6% of the engagement on your personal page. I think you use it. I think if you choose to, great. Use your business page to put great, valuable content out there and information that you can drive people to, and don't expect it to drive engagement. Don't expect it by itself to have people wanting to come to you, unless you're boosting ads around that to drive them specifically back to it with a click. Why personal page? Because that's where my people live. That's where people want to see me. That's where I'm going to go. Use your business page, like I just said, as your business page, not your personal page, and vice versa. Mass delivery, this means that you're using video to, again, all this is relating to video. Mass delivery, so in our CRM, which Command has the ability to do some of this, we use a separate CRM and Command. In our other CRM for our prospect database, we can send hundreds of videos via text at one time. We can send hundreds of videos via email at one time. So if you can do that, now it's got to be a little bit more generic. That's why it's more of the middle, not the broad, not the narrow approach. This is about getting as much content out there as possible, although it's still showing up as individual content. Think about it this way. If I send a video text to 1,000 people and all 1,000 texts are separate, even though they came out at the same time, you receiving it might know it's an advertising piece because I don't talk about you, I don't say your name, and you can tell it could be potentially produced. Okay, that's fine. It's still got in the hands of 999 other people at the same time. It's okay to go mass, just understand that personal is going to get you a little bit better connection. And then of course, the content is accessible anytime. This is where you can have a public YouTube page. You can have 3 different sources or types of, I think 3 or 4 for YouTube. Unlisted, public, private, those types of things, or only with a link. So are you willing to put some information like market snapshots to build out a YouTube page? Most of my stuff right now is unlisted simply because most of my stuff is for internal purposes. As we build out more and more content, we'll have a public facing YouTube page too. That's going to be like Monday motivation stuff. It's going to be information on just the process of becoming an agent or being a buyer or being a seller. And that stuff will live there forever. And then you can drive people back to it. One of my favorite reasons for using link or YouTube is so I can take those links and drop them in a lot of different places. Check this video out. Hey, I see your comment on this thread here. Go check this video out. This is what I talked about 2 years ago. You can do that too. It's a great way to have an archive or a database of a lot of great content. And it takes time to build it up. You start doing one a week like I started in January of 2018. Before you know it, you got 50, you got 70, you got 100 videos that you can choose from. I've got a folder on my desktop that probably has, I don't know, 180 videos in there that I'm constantly pulling from now to build out training, to build out certain things for my team and just to put out there to the world. It's okay that you don't have all of it right now. You can have a lot of it soon. All right, now targeted. We're just going to camp here for a few moments, and then we're going to open up some questions. The key is personalization. When I say targeted, I don't mean targeted niche marketing. I mean targeted to the individual. I mean the video I put on Elaine's wall. I mean the videos I send via text, the videos I send via direct message. Personalization. Just by putting their first name in the very beginning of the video, you instantly gain more engagement, more attraction. Because people love to hear one word more than any other word that's in existence, and that word is their first name. When they hear, they want to talk about themselves, or they want to hear someone talking to them or about them or for them or with them. So by throwing people's first names in there, it takes more time because now you have to personalize every single one. Personalization though, and this goes into, I've got this written down if you can see that, who are your top 10 to 20%? In the targeted connections side, I think you need to be focused more on your top 10 to 20% of your database, not everybody. I was coaching an individual yesterday. They have 5,000 people in their database. And I'm coaching them to the model I'm about to show you in a few minutes. And I said, there's no way you are going to be able to do this and do this consistently. What we need to do is we need to go find your top, for her, it was actually 5% because that's still 250 people. Your top 5% in your entire database, the ones that you know the best, that know you, the ones you like the most, that like you, the ones you trust the most, that trust you, that you believe, basically with those three things, that you believe would do business with you or refer business to you if there was a need or they knew someone that had a need. Start there. I'm going to give less time to people that represent less opportunity in my business. That's not cold to me. That is a business strategy. Some people get a lot of my time, just like in your personal life. My wife, my kids get a heck of a lot more time than anybody else in my world. Friends from high school, some of them get none, some of them get a little bit. Best friend gets a lot more time than acquaintances. You see my point. In your business, same thing. If you represent an amazing opportunity for my business, there's very likely we're going to be in touch more often than someone over here that is a looky-loo, not wanting to do anything in real estate right now or in the immediate or near-term future. I'll give you some. It's probably going to be the more generic stuff. You, however, are someone that I'm actively engaged with. You're wanting to buy a home, you're wanting to sell a home, or you are a great advocate of my business. You better believe I'm going to spend more time on you. And I'll give you an example from 2013 through 2016. I use them a lot because they're fantastic. Butch and Marie Perry. They were going to sell their house in Fremont, California. I live in Sacramento. They came to my website via a Craigslist ad I put out there. And this is in 2013, October 2013. Started having dialogue back and forth. I never met them in person until November of 2014, so more than a year later. Well, they had an agent that already done a CMA in Fremont for them, so they were thinking about listing with that guy. And I said, well, hey, we're connected up here in the Folsom and Sacramento area. Why don't I come down there, bring you lunch, I'll take a look, give you some pointers on what my team and I do to sell as many houses as we do. They agreed, I went down, we had lunch, they ended up listing with me, buying with me, and then referring 7 people to me over the next 12 months for a large amount of volume for my average price point. Totaling 9 transactions in a 13-month period. And I'll tell you, the personalization, what I did for them versus what I would do for other people was quite a bit. Once they closed with me on both transactions, I started inviting them over for brunch because they were cool people. My wife loved them too. Then I showed up at their grandkids' first birthday and bought the nicest present that anybody bought them. Then I sent them to Napa in a limo to have wine with 4 of their best friends. Point is, they represented a massive piece of my business in one single year. I'm absolutely going to give them more time, energy, and resources. And I don't think that's wrong. And by the way, we're friends today. This is 4 years ago now. We're friends today. And we actually started a side business together. That's how relationships can work. Now we're close and we have a business together. That's pretty neat. Started with a Craigslist ad in 2013. So don't overlook that. You never know who's out there. They can become a great advocate for your business and potentially even a great friend if you're willing to engage them. Texting, yes. If you are unwilling or can't reach them in any other way, texting is still great because it's one-on-one direct communication. I probably send anywhere between 5 and 15 text video messages every day. The average length, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. It is not a let me tell you about my day for 45 minutes. It is a about them text. Hey, I'm in between appointments. I was thinking about you. I haven't seen you in a while. And I just wanted to say hello. I hope you're well. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Send. Hey, I'm in between appointments. Thinking about you because I am. That's all true. It's all true. I'm thinking about you because I'm sending you a video right now. It's all true. Texts are a great way. Here's my rule of thumb around this though. Don't engage in the secondary conversation until you've got all of these done. So if you have time block on your calendar for 10 minutes to do video texts, cool. Do 10 minutes of outbound texting with video before you circle back and start replying to the replies. Otherwise, I think you know what's going to happen. I get to my second video and the first person responds, and now I'm in that conversation for the next 10 minutes. And I just didn't do my 9 or my 19 more text messages. Get them done. Remember, this is still part of your prospecting business. This is still part of you getting in front of more people more consistently. You can always circle back. They're still going to be there in 9 minutes, being okay with you not responding immediately. And if they're not okay with that, well, you chose them. DMs, pretty obvious. Great way to get in front of them. The cool thing about sending videos via certain social media, especially Facebook DMs, is that they show up big. In that little thread, they show up massive. It's a big video inside their DMs. Directly to their personal walls or pages. This could be through tagging, so you could put it on your page, although I find you can get more reach through more quantity if you're doing it onto other people's walls. Because I can't post, I'm not going to post 15 happy birthday videos on my wall and tagging that person. I'll get unfollowed by almost everybody. And yet, if I put it on your wall and then somebody else's wall and then somebody else's wall, whether it's birthday, anniversary, how are you, I miss you, their sphere of influence is part of it, sees it, and you don't have this massive thread or string of videos on your wall that just causes people to say, ugh, I gotta unfollow this guy. And emails, which we already talked about. Those are really the 4. There are others. There are different social media platforms, like getting it out through TikTok, like getting it out through some Snapchat even. Although these are the 4 I still find, unless you're going to go that specific niche route, like becoming a master TikToker or becoming a YouTube star. Remember, I said at the very beginning, that's not what today was about. Today was about taking things that you can put in your business right this second. Could you record a video as soon as you hang up this call that just says, hey, I don't know when the last time we spoke was, and I want you to know how grateful I am for your friendship. Could you message somebody today that says, hey, it's your birthday and I just want to say happy birthday? Or could you sing to them like I'm going to later? Those things don't take a lot of time. They don't take a lot of energy. They just take some discipline. Do it again, build a muscle around it, build a habit around it. And as you do that, you get better and better and better. And it goes faster. The first day I recorded 15 birthday videos, it took me 40 minutes because I was wanting them to look good. And I was going back and making sure I was cutting off the front and the back end so it was nice and seamless. And real quickly, I realized I'm not going to stay committed to this if it takes this much time. So now it's, hey, it's your birthday. Hope you're doing really well. Happy birthday. That's as short as it can be sometimes. All right, ways to grow your visibility. If you want to take a screenshot of this page, that'd be fine because we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because there are thousands of ways for you to grow your visibility. These are the ones that I have used that I feel have worked the most. And there's a couple on here that I'm just starting to dabble with or dabble in. And so I can't speak super confidently around them, although I do see the value in them, and I'll highlight those as we go. Number 1, you got to be consistent. If you put some videos out today and then you wait a week or you wait 2 weeks and you do another one and then you wait 4 months and you wait and then you do another one 2 months later, you're not going to gain much from this. There was a period where it was about 9 months, 10 months into doing a video a week on Facebook for Motivation Monday, where I couldn't go to an office, a Keller Williams office in Northern California. I couldn't go to any sort of event with family or friends without one person at the very least bringing up those videos. Not saying that they weren't amazing. The point was they were getting out there. So much so that I had a buddy from Sacramento go down to Orange County, have lunch with the guy. He's a friend. I don't know the guy though. And they got into a conversation about my buddy going into real estate. And the guy actually, through a couple more conversations, brought up, well, have you seen this thing? And it was Monday Motivation. And Kyle, my buddy, just happened to say, well, actually, that's the guy that recruited me into real estate. 400 miles away from each other. They do spread. If you're putting out decent stuff, good stuff, and consistently, they will spread. You'll have some visibility because of it. Number 2, go live. I go back and forth with this. Live, the algorithm right now within Facebook, as far as I understand, you go live, it puts you in front of anywhere between 2 and 8 times more people than a recorded video. The good thing about going live is that you're not going to waste a bunch of time doing multiple takes. Have you ever recorded a video and then recorded it 24 more times before you felt like it was right? I have. Now for a 30-second video, you've spent an hour. Whereas if you go live, it's suck it up, buttercup, because it's coming. And then it goes live and you just got to go. And if you stumble, that makes you human. If you stumble or fumble or bumble or curse on accident, it makes you human. And most people are okay with that. In fact, I've gotten some really good feedback on when I do make mistakes, when I just kind of go off the cuff on those types of videos, then I do get usually I'll get some pretty good response. That was really authentic, or that was really transparent. And like, it was just me messing up. It's just because we all mess up. No big deal. Going live will get you in front of more people. Boost it if you're using your business page. If you're attempting or wanting to reach targeted non-Mets or haven't Mets, people out there that you don't know yet that you want to attract into your database, at least through visibility and voyeurism first. Combine broad database and targeted approaches. So that's where you can put out the stuff big and wide to drive people in. And then once they're in, you're putting more specific things in front of them that are still generic to the person, more niche marketed. And then of course, once you have your top 10 or 20%, that's where you go personalized. The more personal you can make that, the better. If you don't know them super well and you still consider them part of your top 20%, I'm not saying you ask about their wife or their late grandma that maybe just passed from cancer. Maybe you don't go there. Although if you have people that you have a really great relationship with, maybe you do. Maybe it's just a condolence video. I don't know. It's up to you and it's up to the person, whatever your relationship is with them. You combine these 3 things and you're creating a big, massive funnel that narrows down at the end that allows you to build some really solid and great relationships. You don't need 1,000 or 1,000,000 of those. You need 100 really great relationships to do all the business I think you want to do this year, as long as those 100 are in your area. Pump out the content. If you're wondering, well, if I put something out that's bad or not amazing, that lives there, well, you know it as well as I do. Whatever you put out today is going to be buried in 24 hours. In a week, there are thousands of other things on top of it in the news feed. So I don't know if you need to worry about that. Pump it out there. What we know is that the more you do anything, as long as you're purposeful about it, the better you become at it. Go back to my little smoke detector hat. That was the worst video I think I've ever done. It was also the second video I ever did. They look a little bit different. They sound a little bit different today than they did then, simply by putting out a lot of it for an amount of time. And I'm ramping that back up now too. Use stories in social media. Facebook, Instagram, they really are pushing towards video and stories because those things get in front of people quickly. They capture attention and people really like to live there. I'm not good with this yet. I'm working towards it. So I can't speak super confidently or intelligently about this. What I do know is that everybody I talk to that is pretty solid in social media, they're moving towards more stories. So sorry, I can't help too much there. I'm working on it myself as well. Attract them back to you. This is all about what we spoke about earlier. If they are wanting to see your content, if they are wanting to know what's happening in your world because you've been putting it out there and it's interesting or enlightening or inspiring or motivating or just crazy or weird, then they'll come back and they'll look for you. The more you can get them wanting to see your stuff and wanting to be a part of this world that you've created virtually and for you personally, the more your opportunity to earn mindshare, the more opportunity you've got to actually do business or have business referred to you because of them. Remember, all this has the end game of doing more business. And the more people that know you, the more people that like you, the more people that want to be around you virtually, digitally, or in person, the more likely your business is to grow. And unfortunately, that does mean you have to be likable. And everybody can be likable to the right people. Don't change who you are for somebody else. Go find the people that will appreciate you for who you are. That's your market. Just a couple more. Engage them before and after they engage you. One of my pet peeves is when I see someone put some content out and then there are dozens or tens of or hundreds of comments or any sort of engagement, likes, whatever, and they don't acknowledge it. I don't need my comments or my stuff acknowledged. It's a pet peeve of mine when someone's trying to do it for business. Engaging them before is you reaching out to them, you getting in front of them. When they engage back, whether that's liking, commenting, posting to your wall, go engage again with them. Even if it's a simple thank you. It's okay to be short, brief, just get back in front of them. And if you can, turn that into an offline conversation. So if you comment on something of mine and I comment back and it goes past a couple comments, almost always, if you go back and look, you'll see, hey, I'll text you. Hey, let's have a call. Yes, love to connect with you. Because I want to take this online conversation and turn it into something I can actually go a little bit deeper with you. Not always, because I don't always want to have a conversation with everybody. Although if there's an opportunity there or someone I could help or something I want out of it, frankly, then yeah, I'll take it offline if I can. Lastly, follow a simple plan. Now here's the last slide I'm going to give you before just putting my email up on the screen. Many of you have probably heard about or heard of the DTD2, the Do the Database 2. It is based on calling. Now, when this came out, and I think around 2009 or 10, it was the Never Ending Referrals Program. The DTD2 stands for Do the Database 2, which means call 2 letters of your alphabet or the alphabet every single week. Your database. Everybody has a last name that starts with a letter. You call 2 letters of the alphabet every single week. You will make it through the entire alphabet every 13 weeks, which happens to be once a quarter or every 3 months. That's the recommended, prior to Bold Pivot, the recommended frequency of calling your database. Now it's the DTD4, and that's calling 4 letters per week. So you make it through every 6 weeks. I took that for my business 5 years ago or so, and I added a couple things to it. And we're really working this heavy in my team right now because it takes that and it just puts it on steroids because you can't always reach them by phone. And phone's not always the best way to reach people in the first place. Plus, I want to reach them more often. So on the next screen, if you want to take a screenshot or if you just want the slides, I'll be happy to send them to you, is the DTD2 to the power of 3, or the third power. Now, if you just look at the screen right now, it's a lot of letters, a lot of grids. Don't worry. Don't overcomplicate in your mind yet. Don't check out on me. What the DTD2-3 is, it's the standard DTD2 for the calls. And then I added in a DTD2 for the text, and I added a DTD2 for other, which in my world is Facebook messaging, videos. It's either Facebook messaging or videos to walls. And so here's how you can take this and use it right now. So I promised I would give you some basic form of a model that you can use right now. If you look at any one of those lines and just take off call, text, or other, if you look at any one of those lines, it goes in a specific pattern. This is right out of DTD2. If you're wanting to get more into video and go more of the personal route, meaning the more targeted route, then this week, who's your top 1 person that has a name that ends or starts with an A? Who's your number 1 person who has a name that starts with a W? Send them a video. Post a video to their wall. Next week, your top 1B, your top 1E. Could you do more than 1? Absolutely. Do you have to do 1 to do 10? Yes. If you put these letters on your calendar, so for the week of, what is this week? The 22nd. It's the 24th, although the week of the 22nd. If you put on there right now, by the end of this week, I'm going to video message, either post to their wall, send them a direct message, or send them a text with a video of me saying, I'm grateful for you, I'm thankful for you, it's your birthday, happy birthday, it's your anniversary, happy anniversary, I love you, I miss you, whatever. 1A and 1W by the end of this week, you will be further along in your video than you were before this call. And that to me is a win. And if you decide, well, I did 1, it wasn't that hard, I think I'll do 2. Great. I think I'll do 5. Fantastic. If you stop at 1, totally cool too, because you said you would do it, you committed to it, you got integrity, you nailed it. Add it to the calendar and get it done. Next week, evaluate. Do you still want to do it? And then remember, if the mind says no, challenge it. Is it because I don't like it, because I'm not comfortable with it? Or do I not really see the value in it? Big difference. I promise you'll get some value if you start connecting with people on a more personal level. Next week, do 1, maybe do 2, and add over time. If you're also calling your database, you're also texting your database and sending them emails from Command or whatever CRM you use, fantastic. That personal touch via video is going to go very, very far for you. And remember, short. I miss you. It's been a long time. How are you? I just wanted to send you a quick video because I wanted you to be able to see my face because I missed your face too. Whatever. That was stupid and it would work.
Can I just chime in here?
Please.
Part of what you just said, hi, how are you? I miss you. I'm concerned about you. The authenticity that you're able to convey because you genuinely feel that way about people, I think that's extremely important. It can't be something that you're reading off a script or something like that.
No.
So
that's why, and thank you, Elaine, for saying that because it's so
you're
important.
welcome.
That's why I recommend you go to your top 10% first. Your top 10% will likely include parents, siblings, coworkers you had a really great relationship, best friends, friends. I can't tell you how awkward it was when I finally committed to this and I sent my best friend Russ, who lives in Ohio, a message that I said, I love you, man. I miss you, dude. How are you? It was awkward because it's 2 guys saying that to each other that don't say that kind of stuff to each other. And he loved it. He appreciated it. And it was true because I do love the guy. He's my best friend. He's been my best friend for 20 years. It was still awkward. Now it's easy. Now we're a little bit almost too touchy-feely with each other. Don't take that the wrong way. And it's fine. So thank you, Elaine, for saying that. Pick your top 10%. And by the way, your past clients, you've got your top 10% of your past clients too. I worked with hundreds of people. I don't like them all. I like some a lot. I like some not so much. I like a lot of people in between. So I'm going to the top. Butch and Marie Perry are getting more stuff from me than anybody else. I think you've got the same thing in your database too. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, fantastic. If not, no worries. You can email me too because my email, well, last slide, actually, I lied. There were 2 more. Let's have fun with this. A fun video for you means it's fun for them to watch. And if it's not, fine, it just didn't connect, no big deal. Although I guarantee it won't be fun for them if you're not having fun with it too. Make it fun, make it repeatable, make it scalable. And if you would like a copy of all the slides from today, feel free. Send me an email, michael@unitedhomegroup.com. I will give you everything in a PDF that I showed you here today. So that way you can take it, steal it, use it, recreate it, whatever you want to do. It's totally fine with me. I have no issue with that at all. And of course, if you have questions about anything that's outside the slides, maybe something I said or something you didn't understand or I didn't clarify around, email is fine as well. Give me 24 to 48 hours to respond, although likely faster. And I'd be happy to explain or answer any questions that you might have. We're right at 2:30, and I left myself, my pleasure, Charles. Thanks for being here. I left myself extra time for today, so I'm going to stay if that's okay with everybody. If you have questions, I've got about 10 minutes or so. For those of you that need to jump, I get it. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Have an amazing day, and I would love to hear how this helps you in your business and your relationships. So please share some testimonials with me. Not for me to use, just for me to enjoy. Have a great one, and I'll stick on if you have any questions.
Michael.
Yes. Hi,
Hi,
Yvonne.
how you doing?
Excellent.
Thank you for all the great information. I wanted to share something with you.
Please.
So my title rep, Della, First American, she's always extremely supportive and helpful. We worked on this Monday. While you were talking, I got delivered at my home my labels for my my new listing. At the same time, I also got my postcards, which is cool.
Nice.
So what I'm going to do instead of I was going to start to text her, say, Della, I usually take a picture and I send it, right, of things. But after your class, I'm going to do a quick video instead.
You know what, Yvonne? I'm so glad you're saying this because I intended to add it to this. Don't forget about your vendors, your affiliates, your partners. Escrow people don't get much love. Title people don't get much love. Lenders don't get that much love. They get beat up by their clients a little bit. That's gonna go a long way. That's a
Yeah.
fantastic idea.
Usually I just take a picture of what she sends. Well, during the COVID, she's been sending me the booties, to my house. Some hand sanitizers she sent. So I usually, hey, I just got this. Thank you so much. But a short video would be cool too. So thank you.
And just to role play it almost for you, when you do this, so she sent over postcards and whatnot.
Well, the postcards I ordered, but
Okay.
no, the labels for the farm that
Labels, perfect. And what's her name?
Della.
Della. Hey Della, it's Yvonne. I just got my labels in the mail. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is going to be such a huge help. I appreciate you and I appreciate everything you do for me so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great day. That's
That's
it.
about me. That's what I would say.
That's it. She is going to, I can't speak definitively that she's going to, although I'd be willing to bet she's going to be like, oh, that's so sweet, because she's probably never received one of those before.
Yeah.
That goes a long way.
Yeah. So thank you. I wouldn't have thought to do a video except for this class.
My favorite time to do videos is in the car, which I know is dangerous. Oh, well, sorry. Because that's the time where I usually have a little bit of time. And so I'll think of who's 3 people I can touch right now. Who are 3 people I could just put a message in front of that maybe lightens their day or brightens their day or thanks them for something that they did for me recently or today. And I just put it on my little magnet stand on my, click, and I just start talking to it. I love you, I miss you, how are you doing? And then click, and I do another one. And then when I park or when I get to a red light, I'm firing them off really quickly. That's how you can do 20 or 30 or 40 of these a day without having it feel so robotic of being time blocked for all of it. So I love it. For me, what's been working really well lately is when something happens, I get to it immediately. Unless I'm already in a time block that I won't deviate from, like a lead generation, lead follow-up, or an appointment. I'm not going to stop my lead generation to go do a video for somebody. I will, however, do it outside those hours. So great idea. Thank you for bringing that up.
Sure. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or any sharing or comments? And we still have to sing happy birthday. And I want to make sure I pronounce your name correctly. It's your birthday. How do you say it? Are you still here? Okay. If she comes back off mute, we'll find out and we'll sing happy birthday to her, or at least I will.
CB. You're talking about CB.
CB, thank you. Couldn't remember if it was an at the end. So CB, perfect. All right. Well, CB, if you're there, I'm just going to do it. Can we all sing for CB real fast? Are you willing to do that with me, folks?
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear CB. Happy birthday to you. I really hope she heard that. Hey, did anybody else feel awkward doing that?
Michael?
Yeah.
Hey, great presentation. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Mark.
I'm just curious, you mentioned about the lights you're using. Are you using umbrella lights? Are you using LED, or are they using those little CFLs or whatever they are?
CFLs.
And can I ask you where you got Amazon for like $60?
I believe. Well, there's one of them.
There's
there
one.
You go. So this is a J. Julius Studio umbrella light. I got 2 of them with the backdrop, I believe, for about $60 or $70.
Excellent, excellent. They're
And
pretty
they're
reliable.
okay.
They work, right?
They work.
Have you tried with the green screen instead of a black screen?
I do. I have a green screen in the closet.
And how does it work with the green screen? Really well?
Now I'm knocking stuff off my face. Hold on. See, this is real life. So I've got a green screen in the office over there too, although I like the black backdrop for some reason. It just fits me a little bit better. So yes, I've done green screen videos too with sharks swimming behind me. It's just fun. I do it a lot though.
Excellent, excellent. No, that's great. You know, we have a group that gets together. I sent you an email, but we have a group called the Masterminds that meet every Monday. And we're from all different companies. So I mean, if there's a problem with, has to be only Keller Williams, I'd understand. But we have, we typically get between 80 and 100 agents joining us every Monday and we're what they call a speaker-centric meeting.
Okay.
Speaker's number 1, and then we do like a marketing meeting at the end. But I'd love to, if you're, if it's okay with you and your Keller Williams family out there, would love to have you possibly join us for one of our speakers.
I would be honored and would love to talk a little bit more offline about it to see what it entails and how I can best support you.
Great. I sent you an email. We'll talk soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, bud.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
All right. Anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns, cries of outrage, anything that they want to get off their chest?
That's kind of strange. Nobody? No, I'll ask you another
Nobody.
question.
Thank
I have
you,
another
thank you,
question
thank
now.
you. It's awesome having you and getting information from you. We love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm happy to come back anytime you'll have me. And I did my absolute best today to not curse, because I think I've done that for San Jose once before, or Santa Cruz. So I'm working on it, everybody. I promise.
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
First, I don't know you well enough to say I love you, so that's not going to happen yet. Sorry.
Hey, it's okay, Mark. I love you, man.
Okay, that's good. That's your mistake. Yeah, I was going to ask a little bit more about the video. Do you read any kind of any books you recommend for the video part of it? Anything that you could maybe suggest to us?
Not so much books on video. I've read a lot of books on storytelling and presenting in general. I'm part of a master faculty group that's not, I'm working towards master faculty for KW, and I'm also part of a separate one that's not KW affiliated. And so we do weekly stuff on that. So it's not a book, although he has recommended, I don't know if I've got him on my desk behind the screen here. Well, I'll give you a couple that I have read that have helped me just in general.
Okay.
I think it's storytelling. It's a TEDx book.
Okay.
And that one's just all about how you engage immediately. I didn't do that today. I chose not to today, although that's a fantastic book for speaking. And how it relates to video, I think you might be asking about doing videos to generate.
Well, yeah, just more of
engagement.
I'll say one thing. The great thing about the Zoom, what I've learned, is I'm much more comfortable in front of video than I was, because
Yeah.
again, we have 80 to 100 people come to our meetings, and I'm the host.
Yep.
So do that in
So-
front of 80 to 100 people in person, I'll go nuts.
I can't say that I have specifically read or trained on how to be more comfortable in front of video. There's a part of me that was always okay with stuff like that. And then there was a part of me that really resisted it. And it's practice, man. I'm on video between Zoom and sending videos about 30 times a day.
Excellent. No, it's good. Send me a video. I'd like to see one of your videos, but thank
Yeah.
you very much. Hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mark.
And thanks. I was going to ask you, what is United Home? I'm not even sure what you guys are.
Oh, we're a team within Keller Williams. So I'm the region. I run a team within Keller Williams. We have teammates across different offices. So it's called an expansion team because we've expanded into multiple offices.
Great. I want to thank Laura Gleason if she's there. Laura, thank you for inviting me to this one. Great meeting, as always. Take care, guys.
Love it. Thanks, Mark.
Hey, Michael,
Yeah,
can I ask you one question? It's a little off topic. Well, it's
I
a
like those.
side topic.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing my first virtual open house this
Uh-huh.
weekend. Similar to video, right?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any pointers? And it doesn't have to be long drawn out, but just any pointers for virtual open house?
So when you say virtual open house, is it actually you're doing a video and then posting that, and then or are you having it to where you're there and someone logs in and says, I'd like to see this house, you take them around?
Well,
both.
either or. I haven't quite figured that out, actually, to be honest.
Okay, here's my recommendation, because unless you're driving a ton of traffic to the actual virtual open house where you're sitting there in front of a tablet or a camera or whatever and waiting for someone to say, hey, I'm here, I'd like to see this house.
Right.
Unless you're driving a ton of traffic to that, you're gonna be standing there for quite some time. So my goal for my team is, if they're doing virtual open houses, is how do you just get this in front of as many people as you possibly can for your own personal visibility, which is also a story you get to tell your sellers. And that's me doing a live video walking through the house.
Right.
That's me doing, and don't go the route. My first real estate agent that helped me find a home was the kind, and no offense, because I get it, I kind of did this a little bit when I was first getting into the business too, was pointing out, this is a fireplace.
No, yeah.
This is a cabinet. I'm like, dude, I get it. Just leave me alone. Let me get a feel for the house. And that became kind of when I learned that, I was like, okay, if I'm going to do anything video, I've sold many houses to people without them ever stepping foot inside the house.
Oh.
By doing a video before it became a thing, like FaceTime or recording it or whatever. And so my thing is always, I want them to get the feel for it. I want them to see my face early so I can give a quick, snapshot of who I am and what I'm doing here, and come on with me. And then I do a quick tour, and just about every 12 to 15, maybe 18 seconds, it's fluid. It's a, did you see that? Pop your face back in there and make it fun. It doesn't, not too regimented, not too professional. It's, man, check out this bathroom, get your face back in the video, because it's boring to walk through a house, especially if it's a big house, for 45 or 60 seconds when the camera's bouncing and there's weird noises happening in the background. That's my recommendation. Get your face in front of the camera a few times at the very least, make it somewhat fun, and give them basic information. Because then you get to use that in a lot of different ways. You have a database of buyers, send it out to them. This may not work for you, and check it out because you might know someone that does. Get this in front of your social media groups or people or friends or whomever. Put it out on LinkedIn. Now you've got something that you can use for a ton of different purposes. And if you do it live, you don't have that. Although if you record it and then post it, you do.
Thank you. That's what I needed. Thank you.
You got it. My pleasure. I'm all about, and I think a few people on here would attest to this. I want the stuff I do to have a meaning and have a purpose and have an effect. And I also want it to feel like me. I want it to be fun for me, and I want it to feel like me. So I would be the guy, if I'm doing a virtual open house, I'd be kind of poking in my head from the side a couple times, just because that's who I am. And if people don't like it, fine. All right, well, I got a jet. I really appreciate you all. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, I think it is. I don't know. And if you need anything, my email's on the screen right there. I'd be happy to interact with you that way. And then we can always set up some other time if you need to. Whatever you need, I'm at your disposal. Thank you to the offices for having me. Thank you for being here, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.
Buddy.